Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at noon. I'm Hannah Gonzalez.
And I'm Blake Weiland.
I've said before, my job, the job of any president, is to protect the American people. Whether Congress acts or not, I'm going to use all the resources at my disposal as president to keep the American people safe from gun violence. But there's much more that Congress can do to help that effort.
Minutes ago, President Joe Biden announced the first part of his plan for gun control, 6 executive actions designed to curb gun violence. Earlier today, CNN's Britt Conway broke down each of them. Let's take a look.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future.
It's a commitment President Joe Biden made after the recent mass shootings in Atlanta and in Boulder. The White House says Biden will lay out 6 initial actions today. First, a rule tightening restrictions on so-called ghost guns, which are handmade or self-assembled firearms that don't have serial numbers. Second, a rule restricting pistol stabilizing braces, which make weapons more stable and accurate. Third, suggesting red flag legislation for states, laws that allow family or police to have the court temporarily take guns away from people who might hurt themselves or others. Fourth, money for community violence interventions. Fifth, an annual report on firearms trafficking. And sixth, nominating a gun control advocate to lead the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, David Chipman. Take a listen to what he had to say in 2019 on weapons regulations.
My time as a federal law enforcement officer taught me that although all weapons can be dangerous in the wrong hands, some weapons are particularly lethal and should be more strictly regulated.
From here, it's up to the Justice Department, which has between 30 and 60 days to write the rules for ghost guns and stabilizing braces, and the suggested red flag laws. I'm Britt Conway, reporting.
Along with Biden's new gun control legislation, Texas will also be making moves to limit private gun sales. The Texas House Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety will look at a bill today requiring background checks on all private deals. Previously, there was a loophole that allowed people to buy guns in Texas through an unlicensed seller without undergoing a background check first. Lena Ortega, the state representative who authorized the bill, says, quote, gun violence is a critical public safety issue across this state. In 2019, the gunman at the mass shooting incident in the Midland, Odessa area purchased the assault rifle from an unlicensed seller after previously failing a federal background check. According to Ortega, this loophole has made background checks voluntary. We'll keep you updated as the state reviews the bill.
Hannah, when I was walking to the studio this morning, the weather was perfect outside.
I couldn't agree more, Blake. I just hope it stays this way for the weekend. Let's see what our weather anchor, Jessica Jalal, has to say. Jessica?
Thanks, Hannah. Now I have bad news and good news, but I'm going to get into the bad news later. Let's go ahead and take a look at our good news, which is our current conditions. We have sunny and clear skies. We have a temperature of 68. It feels warmer at 76, and we have a southwest wind speed of 7 miles per hour. Now let's move on to tonight's conditions. Same clear skies. We're going to have a low of 64. It's going to feel colder at 62, and now that wind speed is going to be heading southeast at 15 miles per hour. Now I have bad news in tomorrow's conditions. We're going to have stormy and rainy skies. So we're going to start off the day with cloudy skies, but after 2 p.m. there's going to be a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms. There's also going to be large hail. This can be anywhere from 3/4 of a diameter to 1 3/4. That's nickel to golf ball size hail. After 8 p.m. to 2 p.m. we're also expected to have a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms again. And if you have plans to go out, I would suggest changing them to staying in, maybe watching a movie indoors or having a game night with your roommates. That's it for our current conditions. Tune in later for our full weather report. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Jessica. As more and more people are getting vaccinated across the country, one vaccination site in Colorado has closed. Here's a story.
Day of mass vaccinations at Dick's as Colorado tries to get closer to herd immunity. Paul Doucette was looking forward to it.
We got They're about 2:30 early, and then got about 5 cars away from being next in line to get the shot, and they stopped it.
His photo shows where he got stuck. Things did look a little off.
There were two ambulances there. One was pulling in as we were coming in, and there was one already set up there.
Centura Health said after seeing adverse reactions, it made a call. In a statement, spokesperson Lindsay Radford said, "We followed our protocols and in an abundance of caution made the decision in partnership with the state to pause operations for the remainder of the day."
At least an hour and a half passed before they came back and said, okay, we're just not comfortable with the adverse reaction, so we're going to reschedule you guys.
Doucette was disappointed but concerned.
Make you a little nervous about that Janssen or Johnson & Johnson vaccine?
It does. I'm a Marine, so I'm not really worried about anything. I'll take a shot. If they say it's good for me, if Dr. Fauci says take the shot, I'll take the shot.
His wife had already gotten the Johnson & Johnson vaccine earlier in the day at Ball Arena.
She's doing great.
Paul is still going to do it.
You really wanted the vaccine and you still want the vaccine?
I do. Yeah, this is not going to deter me at all.
Hopefully the site will be up and running again soon so we can get closer to herd immunity across the United States. New COVID numbers are showing that Texas has administered nearly 13 million vaccine doses, making 16.9% of its population fully vaccinated. This data from Texas Department of State Health Services shows a percentage of people in each county who are fully vaccinated. As you can see, Denton County is on its way to herd immunity, with 18.9% of residents fully vaccinated. The counties with the highest percentage of vaccinated residents are Jeff Davis County, Presidio County, and Brewster County.
And as we are on our way to herd immunity, AT&T Stadium will be the next federally supported vaccination site in Arlington. Doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will be administered along with second doses of the Pfizer vaccine to those registered through Tarrant County Public Health. The new site will operate 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and will be located at the northwest corner of the stadium. This comes after Dr. Anthony Fauci warned that the U.S. could be at risk for another COVID spike like the one happening in Europe. According to Johns Hopkins University, 61,000 new cases were reported yesterday. That's slightly lower than last week, but still 20% higher than 2 weeks ago. FEMA's Funeral Assistance Program to help families who've lost loved ones due to COVID-19 will go into effect on Monday, April 12th. The program aims to reimburse Americans up to $9,000 per funeral of a coronavirus victim. Households who have lost more than one family member to COVID can receive up to $35,000. To be eligible, the deaths would have to have occurred after January 20th, 2020 and be linked to coronavirus. FEMA is launching a toll-free number to provide more assistance to families. Applicants will have to supply paperwork for funeral costs and cause of death.
Air travel has spiked over the last week, giving rise to concern from medical professionals who warn people of the dangers of traveling during a pandemic. TSA reported an 80% increase in travelers passing through airport security last weekend, compared to the same weekend in 2020. 2 of those days, Friday and Easter Sunday, each topped 1.5 million people passing through airports. According to TSA, which were each record-setting individual days since the start of the pandemic, public health officials with the CDC still want to stress that air travel is discouraged unless you've been fully vaccinated.
When we return, we'll update you on the state of the Derek Chauvin trial.
Plus, more on the Dallas police officer accused of murder. Stay with us.
My son Andrew was always a joy to be around. I always taught him
Derek Chauvin murder trial is entering its 9th day of witness testimony. 30 witnesses have testified so far against Chauvin, including several members of law enforcement. But on Wednesday, the most significant moment came when the defense showed body cam footage where Floyd seems to say he has taken drugs.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Did it appear that Mr. Floyd said, "I ate too many drugs"?
Yes, it did.
However, when the prosecution played the longer version of that same clip, Floyd expresses the complete opposite.
You're able to tell what Mr. Floyd is saying there?
Yes, I believe Mr. Floyd was saying, "I ain't do no drugs."
Day 9 will focus on the cause of Floyd's death. The defense argues that Floyd's health and drug use were responsible, while the prosecution places blame on Chauvin's use of force. And while this trial continues, Minneapolis locals are watching closely. A few adults have even taken the time to help kids in the area understand the trial. CNN's reporter Lorenzo Hall has more.
The death of George Floyd, this 15-year-old says Derek Chauvin's trial is just too much.
I don't know, I'm just seeing these things too much. It's like, and I'm only 15, so like, I'm just seeing this stuff nonstop.
Azri Yeager says it's re-traumatizing and is trying to take a step back from the TV.
As sad as it is to say, it's like at this point I'm numb. Like, I don't know how to feel.
Teens like Azri have been at the forefront of many protests against racial injustice, and now, with Chauvin's trial underway, community groups and organizers are asking those teens to check in.
We are really focused on Black mental health.
This organizer, Isak Dua, was helping lead some of those teens during the summer. He took part in a panel put on by the Legal Rights Center to make sure teens have the right mindset moving forward.
Young people, we have all this energy and we feel like it's, go, go, go time all the time. And like I said, it's really easy to give too much and not pour back into yourself. So pacing myself and making sure I spend time with my family and my loved ones and, taking it in strides. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
He's not the only one helping teens and children right now. So is this counselor known as the Teen Whisperer.
People are wondering, is this trial going to turn out the right way? But we have to ask ourselves, what is the right way?
Jason Clopton says he's seen more young clients in recent months, many worried about the outcome of this trial, especially if Chauvin is convicted.
Are there going to be race wars in school where there's tension, where they had friendships with students of opposite color, and now there's this tension between them that they don't know how to explain? There's concern in multiple ways about the outcome of this trial, and we can't look at it one-sided.
Jason is encouraging parents to have open conversations with children based on the facts of this trial. As for Azri, he's trying to focus on his own well-being before Chauvin's trial ends.
The world we live in, like, I have to be prepared for it to not be a great outcome and be prepared for protests again.
Today marks the 9th day of the trial.
I hope this nice weather never goes away, Blake. What do you think?
I want to get too used to it, Hannah. Summer is right around the corner. Here's Jessica Jalal with more.
Thanks, Blake. Summer is right around the corner, but we're not quite there yet. We're still seeing 70-degree temperatures across North Texas. If you take a look here, Denton is now at 71 degrees, and it's going to keep going up until we get into those 80-degree temperatures. Across North Texas, we have similar temperatures. In McKinney, we have 73 degrees. Dallas is at 75 degrees. Now let's zoom out and take a look at our temperatures across the state of Texas. So down here in Houston, we have 80 degrees, and Austin is at 79. Those are two of the warmest cities across Texas right now, and then 77 degrees in Abilene. Now let's take a look at our
COVID-19 response problems. Abbott calls the facility a health and safety nightmare.
I think the investigation needs to happen immediately, and definitely if the allegations are confirmed, then they need to be moved. And because I think the investigation should and can begin tonight, we may have answers as soon as tomorrow. And I know the Biden administration wouldn't be able to move before then, which is why I'm making the ask tonight that the Biden administration get ready to begin to move these children to a safer location.
A political campaign called Watchdog has accused Texas Senator Ted Cruz of improperly using campaign funds for self-gain. The group says Cruz spent up to $18,000 of campaign funds for Facebook ads promoting his 2020 book on the Supreme Court. On Wednesday, Watchdog filed complaints with the Senate Ethics Committee and Federal Election Commission, alleging that Cruz violated federal campaign finance law and Senate ethic rules.
Police and federal agents have detained a person of interest involved in an explosion that shut down a bridge in Bedford. At last night, around 5 p.m., a device exploded on the small bridge. When officers arrived to the scene, another suspicious device was found and intentionally detonated by an explosive response team. At 2 a.m. today, a SWAT team escorted a suspect out of an apartment near the bridge. So far, the suspect's identity has not been released.
When we return, we'll tell you about the new renovations coming to a local senior center.
And we'll check in with reporter Ryan Shelton to find out more about another local dining spot.
News for local Denton seniors as the renovation of the American Legion Senior Center proceeds onward.
The American Legion Senior Center is currently being renovated, with the Senior Center being a place for seniors to meet and do activities such as sewing, exercise, puzzles, and bingo.
The American Legion Hall Senior Center is located on Lakey Street, and it was previously comprised of two buildings, and an older building that was built in the 40s, and then a newer building built in 2000. So we demolished the building that was built in the 40s and are building one building combined, so using the old facility and adding onto it.
With construction ongoing, the Senior Center has been closed, with its average 50 daily visitors forced to wait until renovation is complete.
The new facility will have a large multi-purpose room with catering kitchen and storage. The new building has been renovated, or the old building has been renovated to add a fitness area, computer lab, and classroom for programs. And then we've added an outdoor patio.
The renovations have cost about $1.8 million, and with the completion, it's expected that enrollment is going to increase. June.
The renovations are planned to make Denton a better place for senior citizens.
Blake, my parents are in town and I need a fun spot to go eat with them.
I don't really have any places for you, but I do know someone who does. Here's Ryan Shelton with more.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to Denton Eats, and it's pizza time. Now, there's a lot of pizza spots here in Denton, so it's hard to find the perfect one, but I think I just did.
Joy, Spring Mountain Water Joe, and psychedelic art, what's only here at Mellow Mushroom. I sat down with the kitchen lead, Michael Armistead, to learn more about my favorite pizza joint here in Denton.
It's all about a vibe, really, to be honest. Like I said, after gathering for as many years as I have, that's what's always been consistent, is having fun, showing people what kind of good food that we have, and making sure they're having the best experience that they have coming into Mellow. Showing creative side to our food and showing a creative environment. We want people to be able to come in and really appreciate the artwork that we have hanging up, as well as this artwork that we have that we can put in their stomach.
And for us UNT students, they even offer a special discount.
We offer a 25% discount for students, and I believe that we're trying to put together a package for college kids, specifically for college kids, for it to be cheaper, because we all know how it is to be in college and not have a lot of money. For me, that was a long time ago, but I still understand it. And so I think we're trying to come up with like a big thing for UNC students and TWU students around. That way they can come in comfortably and know that they're not going to get gouged or feel like they have to spend a lot of money just to eat food. We want to take care of the people that are in our environment. Times are rough, but we're doing our absolute best to make sure that we're ensuring that students and guests are alike, and they're coming in and they feel safe and they are getting a great experience. That's a priority for me, especially being with the company as long as I have. And our general manager, Tori, that's a very big priority for all of us. We want to make sure that we're having a safe environment, that people can come in and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about outside issues outside of here besides putting food in their stomach.
Now, my personal pie is pepperoni with pineapple and a glass of Dr. Pepper. You can never go wrong with pizza and cola. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. Blake, with the recent attempted kidnappings, I'm glad Denton is building another police station.
I couldn't agree more, Hannah. Let's go to Kevin Pacheco, who has a story.
Thank you, Blake. The Denton Police Department's future substation will be located at 7111 Vintage Boulevard. In November of 2019, the city passed a proposition to allocate money for a police substation and firing range. This new substation will have training facilities the police department headquarters does not, such as an indoor firing range and a driving training pad. This new substation and Denton City Fire Station 7 are the first projects to be added to Denton's public safety site. Construction is scheduled to begin early in 2022 and expected to be finalized by the end of the year. That's all I have for now. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Kevin. Blake, you know, I'm not a huge sports fan, but I think everyone knows how Mavs lost last night.
You know, Hannah, I didn't catch the game last night, so let's tune into our sports anchor, Jalen Jackson, to see what's coming up.
Well, guys, you're right. I'll let you know what went wrong in the Mavericks game last night, plus an update on the allegations against Deshaun Watson, and more on one NFL head coach who's returning to his former team. points, and rising star Christian Wood put up 22 points and 10 rebounds. Tonight, they'll be playing the Bucks. The question is, do the Mavs have enough manpower to stop Giannis? Amid the sexual assault allegations against Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, Nike has suspended their endorsement deal with the star quarterback. Nike isn't the only one suspending Watson's endorsement deal. Beats by Dre ended their endorsement deal entirely with him. Watson does still have a few brand partnerships, one being Rolex and the other being Lefty's, a cheesecake franchise. While the NFL has launched an investigation into Watson, nothing has been confirmed. The Tennessee Titans announced Wednesday that they added Jim Schwartz back to the coaching staff as a senior defensive assistant. Schwartz spent 10 years with the Titans as its assistant coach in the early 2000s. Between this time and now, he's coached at Buffalo, for the Buffalo Bills, and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Titans are sure that his experience will play a big role in the upcoming season. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. Considering how good the weather is supposed to be, today might be a good time to visit the zoo, especially since it's National Zoo Lovers Day. There are over 350 zoos in the U.S., so finding one shouldn't be too hard. But if you're worried about going in person, don't be. Plenty of zoos are also offering virtual tours and zoo webcams. If you happen to take any pictures at the zoo, make sure to tag them with the National Zoo Lovers Day hashtag. Blake, I need to go see elephants now to celebrate this day.
Well, I heard there was a zoo in Fort Worth.
Yeah, I guess I'll go visit. Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tomorrow here on North Texas Television.